Nowadays, it's impossible to purchase space-worthy transport without some sort of armament, be it the humble yet reliable ballistic projectile, or the bottled wrath of God Almighty affixed to a gimbaled wing mount for the sole purpose of more convenient smiting. Tonight we ask, when you buy a budget ship, does the wrath of God come standard? When considering Robert Space Industries' Aurora LN, one can't help but think the words style, grace, and elegance must have been foreign to the primitive dialect of the design team. With weapons bristling from every hard point, it's obvious at a glance that this is a patchwork effort, the Frankenstein's monster of space combat. But when you're fighting aliens, don't you want a monster on your side? Monstrous creation or no, there are still vestiges of the LN's varied ancestry. For example, why have a bed when you could replace it with, say, extra missile storage and delivery system? And in the cockpit, the best thing you can say for visibility is that your enemy won't see the surprised look on your face when he perforates your hull from the safety of these monumental blind spots. Even so, there's only one way to test the mettle of any combat craft, so it's time now to turn this over to my co-host, Garth.
What began as a noble experiment became a pathetic source of affordable transport for the masses. RSI has somewhat redeemed the Aurora by affixing twin Bulldog repeaters, quad-mounted missiles, and two bearing lasers which allow you to unleash your anger and lay waste to your enemies, but only if you can catch them. I have devised a series of tests which will determine any ship's worth in combat. These tests gauge turning speed, acceleration, deceleration, and top speed. These numbers taken together and combined with the power of the ship's armaments give an excellent idea of any ship's strengths and weaknesses in a potential combat role. It will also give me an excellent idea of how easily I can destroy you. The Aurora LN accelerates from 0 to 100 meters per second in 5 seconds and reaches a top speed of 150 meters per second in 7. It decelerates from 100 to 0 meters per second in 4 seconds and requires a staggering 5.1 seconds to spin 360 degrees. Poor deceleration and slow turning speed requires wide turns and allows for poor weapons tracking. In short, it flies like a garbage scow with lasers. The upside is that weaklings without robotic circulatory systems are less likely to pass out due to poor piloting, which means nothing to one of my superior stamina and skill. Overall, I find this lack of performance disturbing.
After the break, our janitor tries his hand as a racing pilot, I call a plumber, and Garth hits our combat simulator with the cheapest fighting ship in the world. So you got a comm from one of them fish trading zealots. He wants a load of ribbon fish in Vindel pronto. You just want him to get there before they die of old age. You need to call LAG, Discount Shipping and Exploration LLC. At LAG, we deal with aliens, pirates, and customs officials every day, so we know how to deal with them right. Run. That's how our cargo arrives faster than almost 10% of our competitors. That, and sometimes we plant bombs in their ships. When you need it to get there eventually, think LAG, Discount Shipping and Exploration LLC. It'll get there when we do, or your money back. Guaranteed. Probably. Welcome back. It's time now to put the LN through our combat simulator and see what comes out the other end. A formidable fighter, or a pile of smoldering scrap.
Now we shall see how this purported combat vessel fares against 3 waves of the Vandal swarm. Even in the first wave, it is clear that the maneuvering thrusters prove themselves inadequate. When I rule the galaxy, those responsible for this atrocity will have to face the full might of the swarm in an Aurora LN. The lasers, though somewhat underpowered, are positioned to create more consistent coverage in the firing pattern, allowing greater likelihood of a hit with at least one of the lasers in any given volley. A nice touch, but not enough to allow RSI executives to escape my wrath. The previously mentioned visibility problems are a nuisance, but the issue can be partly alleviated by pressing your helmet to the cockpit canopy. The real problems with this ship become clear when you charge to meet your enemy in the sphere of battle. They are more likely to die from natural causes while waiting for your ship to close the distance than from any damage your weapons may inflict once you finally arrive. I predict substantial frustration for anyone foolish enough to attempt a rescue operation with this ship, and sudden mortality for anyone fool enough to attempt escape. After 2 rounds of combat, I find myself warming to the... Wait, could it be a presence I've not felt since grade school? Barry.
Well, Garth, is that you? I haven't seen you since the 2nd grade. Are you still wearing that stupid get-up?
Yes, no. It's black now.
Really? I think I liked it better in now. What'd your mama call it?
Salmon.
You mean pink?
Shut up, Barry.
Oh, I bet it calls me Little King now.
Because you're short?
No, because I roll. Now that's neither here nor there. Are we gonna get on with me blowing you up or not?
You're welcome to try.
You mean with that missile I just shot at you?
Wait, what? Ha! All too easy.
Oh, well, know where that came from. I'm surprised you could dodge it in that bargain basement fighter you're flying. I love the paint job, by the way, green and yellow, just like Poopy. Why you flying that turd? Didn't it come in salmon?
Ha ha! Take that, Barry.
No, that ain't fair. The sun was in my eyes. I want a rematch.
No.
Well, that's okay. I ejected anyways. I'll see you next time, Cheetah.
I hate that guy.
So now that you've flown it, what do you think of the LN?
First, Dan, you must tell me why you also simulated my childhood nemesis.
That was no simulation. It's really him via the net.
But why was he there?
To get a real result, you need a reason to win. And we can't make you fear for your life.
No, you cannot.
So
you make me want to kill Barry?
Got it in 1.
That is seriously low-hanging fruit. Now I hate you too.
Excellent. To the racetrack. So, who'd you find to fly for us today, Garth? We've been going through racing pilots like a fat kid with a pocket full of tater tots.
It's Carl, the studio janitor.
Really? I thought he was terrified of flying.
He is, but I can be very persuasive, and despite being a terrible pilot, his lap times are surprisingly consistent.
Consistency is key, both in racing and custard.
Indeed, but I believe the janitor's terror gives him focus.
Apparently it also gives him the trots. His suit sensors indicate he's just soiled himself. Oh, and look here, he's taken a bold line to the first gate, right over the sign. Seems a bit risky for an amateur.
He is well motivated. He may have gotten the idea that he must finish the course in less than 2 minutes, or his life is forfeit.
Well, that explains the zip in that last turn. I know he'd do anything to see his grandkids again.
He is a sentimental fool.
And a crafty one. He's cut straight through the condo complex. That can't be good for his nerves. Did you know he's got a heart condition?
If he dies of cardiac arrest, it will spare me the chore I have scheduled after the race.
It looks like he's taking a cautious angle into the loop. That's gonna cost him a second or two.
It will cost him more than that.
I can see the finish line.
Please.
What's that sound?
I've lived a good life, but
Is he praying?
I don't want it to end today.
He is if he knows what's good for him.
Oh, his 2 minutes are up. He's out of time.
Not quite. He still gets to park the ship.
And he's across the line. 2 minutes, 13 seconds. That's not a bad time for an elderly ship design like the Aurora LN.
No, but it will be a very bad time for our elderly cleaning staff.
Come and see it, Edith. I'll be there soon, honey.
The results are in. We've done the tests, run the sims, and killed a harmless old man to put this ship through its paces.
Actually, Carl yet lives. He offered a favor in return for his life.
Really? What?
None of your business.
That's fine. I don't really care. I was just being polite for the cameras.
Ah, tact. I've never seen the appeal.
Anywho, with a lap time of 2 minutes 13 seconds and 3 waves of the Vandals swarm in 13 minutes 45 seconds with a score of 12,662, what do you think of the LN? Would you buy it?
For myself? No. I only buy the best. However, when my regime comes to power, I will outfit my fighter pilots with the Aurora ES.
Really? Not the LN?
For the price of 4 LN, you can purchase 7 of the ES. Furthermore, when you figure in the extra cost of training for 3 kinds of weaponry instead of 1, as well as military targeting computers and shields, you can train an ES pilot for 1/4 the cost of an LN. The might of my military will destroy your morale at first glance.
But who would choose to join your army?
They'd have a choice.
What about the cost in human life?
Ah, I am not a heartless tyrant. Each military widow will receive a kitten from our kitten reward program free of charge. Plus shipping.
Well, that settles it then. So, if not you, and not your army, then who should buy the Aurora LN?
Fools.
All right then, can't argue with that. Good night, everybody.